What's up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we're going to be talking about the Luzz cannon. This is an elongated paddle. It's Gen 3. It has the EVA ring around it. It's thermoformed. It's also UPA and USAP certified, so you can use it in basically any tournament. I do have a discount code for this company. It's Farmer. You'll get 10% off. It does, support my channel if you use my discount codes, and I'm very grateful for the people that do. But yeah, we're about to get into what paddles this feels like. I'm going to compare it to the Yellow Pro 4, to the Bread and Butter Loco, the Selkirk Boomstick, all the popular and popping paddles right now. But yeah, let's get into this, y'all. I hope you've been doing good. But all right, first thing I want to talk about would be the pop of this paddle. So, it doesn't have the pop that the Selkirk Boomstick has. It doesn't have the pop that the Bread and Butter Loco has. It also doesn't have the pop that the Inferno 4 by Luzz has. This would be right underneath them in terms of pop, and other people are comparing it to the Yola Pro 4 16mm. I didn't get to use that one as much as I did the 14mm, but when I got to use it the other day and I switched back and forth from the 16 to the Canon, I couldn't tell a drastic difference. I did feel the Canon was a little bit more muted feeling overall than the Pro 4, but overall they were pretty identical, so I would lean to the Canon over the Pro 4 if I had to choose between the two. And then in terms of power, my feelings are pretty much very similar. I don't think this is the Loco or the Boomstick, but it is very comparable to the Yola Pro 4. It literally feels very, very close. You would be splitting hairs to talk about which one feels better in terms of power. That's like on, drives, overheads, stuff you're doing full swings on, because neither one of these, this or the Yellow Pro 4, are close to the Boomstick in terms of power or pop. But I also feel that the Boomstick is not good for like 99% of the players, and this one will be a little bit better for most players that are, looking for a new paddle. And then in terms of control, this is a power paddle. It's got a decent amount of pop. You're not going to be able to go out and buy it and then the next day be like, yo, I can control this. I'm a boss. That's not going to be a thing that happens. You're going to have to play with this for a week or two. You're going to have to drill with it. You're going to have to stick solely to this paddle. You're not going to be switching around between paddles and expecting to be able to hit perfect shots. Yes, it's going to be easier to, control than the Inferno 4 or the Loco or the Boomstick, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to just control it willy-nilly without putting in effort. You're going to have to try, and you're going to have to focus. So in terms of spin, you got 2,130 RPMs. Yes, it's good to spin. No point in even speaking any more than this. You know how I feel? 1850 or above will be good enough for me to take to a tournament. I wouldn't really want anything lower than that. But with everything coming out, I would probably bump my new number up to like 1950 or 2000 for being the minimal in terms of, RPMs that I would want from a paddle. Because with how the dwell time and stuff is increasing and the grit, like companies are putting out grittier paddles. I don't know how that's happening and getting approved, but I feel like the spin's increasing more than it has in the, prior years. Okay, in terms of the swing weight, it's 117. That's a pretty good swing weight for an elongated paddle. It adds for a little bit of customization. It's not up in the 120s yet. With that being said, I don't use lead tape on elongated paddles, like refuse to. These stick figure arms, not going to be able to manage lead tape. I do put on lead tape on certain paddles when I'm testing just to see how it feels and how it changes them, but that is not something I'm going to keep on if I'm taking it to a tournament or if I'm playing in serious play. Can't do it. But overall, it's a good swing weight if you want some customization for an elongated paddle. And then out of the box, it weighs 7.8 ounces. That's without the overgrip I added on. I always add on an overgrip, maybe two. It depends. And then the balance point of this paddle was 240. So when it comes to the twist weight, it had a 6.0 twist weight. I didn't feel like it was twisting in my hands. I didn't feel it rotate any at all when I was playing with it. It felt pretty stable. It didn't feel like it had a 6.0 twist weight. It felt like it had like a 6.3 or 6.4 twist weight when I was using it. My brother liked this paddle a lot as well. But with it being 117 swing weight, you can add some lead tape to it, to bump up the twist weight and the overall sweet spot. I did feel like it had a good sweet spot for an elongated paddle. I didn't have any complaints in terms of sweet spot, but I don't think this sweet spot is like the biggest in pickleball or anything like that. I would say in terms of Gen 3 elongated paddles, it would be an average sweet spot. Nothing to complain about, but it's not anything you're going to go and hop up to all your buddies. Now, is this is the good part about the paddle, or the craziest part about the paddle, right? You got a 1-year warranty. It's UPA and USAP approved, And with my discount code FARMER, it goes down to $92. That is crazy. There are not many paddles that are at that value right now. There are no other paddles that are on the UPA approval list that are that price. That is ridiculous. So if you're going to have to play with the UPA paddle, I would go to this 100%. This is a still of a paddle. This is definitely competing with budget paddle of the year, along with the Quantas and the new Vatic V-Sol series. But yeah, really solid paddle, and the 1-year warranty is really good. People were wondering if the warranty is gonna be, how good the warranty is gonna be or how hard it's going to be to do the warranty, because people know that Selkirk and other companies are pretty quick with it. And I saw someone in Pickleball Studios Discord talk about how it was pretty easy for them, to file a warranty claim. That's just one example of someone saying it. I have no clue about that. So, use that, info as how you want to. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Until next time, stay safe, drink plenty of water, and eat stuff. Make sure you have plenty of calories and make sure you're hydrated. I don't want y'all getting lightheaded, collapsing, or getting, dehydrated out there on the courts. Peace, y'all.